What do you know is true without evidence? What are you certain of, right down to your bones, without proof? Back when I was 10 there was a competition for school kids to write a treatment for an episode of Doctor Who, with the best one being developed into an full episode in the next series and the winner receiving a writing credit. I was a huge fan of DW at the time and the competition was actually run through schools, so my teacher made the entire class do it, but I was very excited. I began writing a story about the Doctor landing on a planet full of defective Cybermen, whose programming had gone awry and had been left on this asylum planet to rot. The Doctor lands there in response to a mysterious distress call from a woman and attempts to find and save her while avoiding the dangerous dysfunctional Cybermen and the looming threat of planetary destruction at the hands of the normal Cybermen. I finished my short treatment and gave it to my teacher to submit. Unfortunately, it turned out the competition was very strict about the formatting of submissions and mine was returned because I had used the wrong formatting in some way. It seemed like a weird reason. I was a bit disappointed, and that was the end of that. But then, a year or two later, there was an episode of DW called Asylum of the Daleks, which seemed incredibly similar to my story except with Daleks. So incredibly, eerily similar in fact, that to this day I'm absolutely convinced that Stephen Moffat saw my script and came up with a formatting excuse so that he could remove me from the competition, steal my story, change the bad guys and claim it as his own. I have zero evidence. I don't even still have the treatment I wrote or any letter from the BBC about my submission, and yet I know in my bones that Stephen Moffat stole his script from 10 years old me. The Truman Show was made to make me think the entire world watching my every move was a ridiculous notion. But I know better. That my cousin stole my holographic first edition Charizard Pokemon card back in the early 2000s. I know for certain that the comments on this post would look different on Facebook. My brother deleted my game save on purpose. He was old enough to read. He knew what he was doing. For every sock that goes missing a Tupperware lid appears. Edit. Thank you all for updates. That my last boss secretly hated me even though we had, on the surface, a very positive relationship. My ex-boss used COVID as an excuse to make me redundant because I was the only member of his team to be hired by someone else and not him. Fuck that guy forever. Cassie Anthony killed her daughter and her parents know it too. Edit. Thanks for the 2 rewards everyone. I've never gotten them before now. My cat knocked over the water glass on purpose. There's a travel agency that's been around in my town for as long as I can remember. I wholeheartedly believe it's a front for the mob. We're all too in over our heads. That a lot more famous actors than we realize are secretly the children of other famous actors from the previous generation. I call it the Hollywood Beastard theory. If I'm stuck in traffic and switch lanes because the other lane looks like it will move faster, the lane I just switched from will automatically go faster. Getting a name tattooed on your body is a curse both on you and the person whose name is on you for as long as you wear it. My cat is in a constant superposition of having recently eaten and being starved to death. At least, that's how she acts. Also, any of my feelings about myself can't contradict or disprove those, no matter how hard you try. Humans can communicate telepathically, we just don't know how to use it on purpose. That being sick with a bacterial infection as an infant and almost dying is the reason why I'm never sick despite being a super unhealthy person. Not that it is something I believe to be true, but something that I often think about is the butterfly effect. Like little things I do during the day could affect the total outcome of my day. I watched Flight 93 go down. I would never share that in real life because it's f***ing grim and no one would believe you. The geography of the reports are off. I saw it clear as day from Kent State's main campus, Ohio. I didn't know what I was seeing other than I remember thinking, that plane is way too low. We had a aviation college, so planes were common and too big and it's jerking around like how a toddler drives a Power Wheels truck. Continued on to class. You don't wanna be late even at a liberal college. The world is not ready for a bald Messi. That I have felt love. I'm really not sure if this is what others have felt and called love, but if it is not, I don't know what is. Burger King hash browns are just tater tots. 1 in every 3 or 4 people is not capable of critical thinking. And I'm not making some kind of point about politics or anything, I mean those people are literally incapable of taking an information and synthesizing it with other information and coming to their own conclusions. They're basically robots programmed by whatever source is most convincing to them. Gut bacterial imbalance can change a person fundamentally, physically, mentally, emotionally. One day they are going to see some impossibly vexing diseases and conditions when they figure out that it's all connected to what lives in your guts. McDonald's Coke hits different than any Coke I've ever had. Edit. Thanks for the awards, kind strangers. Let's get a Coke sometime. I saw a massive bee when I was younger, and when I tell someone they never believe me. Dogs go to doggy heaven. That actual, proper snuff films exist. There's too much depravity and perversion in the world for that not to be the case. Flat earthers are just doing it for attention. They really don't think the earth is flat. Good music makes life worth living. Most of this is just busy work. I'm really f-king lucky. But like in a subtle way, like if there's a 95% chance he'll get hurt doing something stupid, it'll come out unscathed. Sometimes I think there's a guardian angel watching over me, making sure I don't kill myself by being an idiot. As a nation, I can safely say without a doubt that you don't need cups to measure the water when cooking rice. Teddy Roosevelt cured his childhood asthma by sheer force of will. That Andy Dufresne was guilty in the Shawshank Redemption. It's never actually proven that he didn't kill his wife and her lover. We just have his word and a story made up by an inmate that wanted to be liked by Andy and his friends. Also, what are the chances that his wife and lover were murdered the same night that Andy was going to kill them himself before he changed his mind?